One of the most common questions I hear as a CPA is this: James, can the IRS take money directly out of my bank account? The short answer is yes, they can. But the longer answer is far more important because the IRS generally doesn't wake up one morning and suddenly empty your bank account without warning. There is a process, there are notices, there are deadlines, and there are opportunities to stop it before it happens. I'm James Duff, CPA with Duff Tax Resolution Services, and today I'm going to explain exactly how the IRS bank levies work, what happens before a levy occurs, and what you can do if you're worried about one. Let's start with a story. Several years ago, a taxpayer called my office in panic. He told me he had gone to the ATM that morning and his debit card had been declined. At first, he thought it was a banking error. He logged into his account, thousands of dollars were frozen. The bank informed him that they received an IRS levy. The first question was, how could they do this without telling me? And the answer to that is simple. They had told him several times. He just hadn't opened the letters. And that's a story I've seen more than once. The IRS collection process is actually very predictable. Most taxpayers don't get levied because the IRS moves too quickly. Most get levied because they ignore the process for far too long. Let's talk about what actually happens. Suppose you owe the IRS money. Maybe it's $10,000, maybe it's $25,000, maybe it's more. Initially, you'll receive a balance notice. If the balance remains unpaid, additional notices are sent. Each notice becomes progressively more serious. Interest continues to accrue, penalties continue to accrue. The IRS is essentially trying to get your attention. Most collection cases never reach the levy stage because taxpayers either pay their balance, enter into a payment plan, or otherwise address the issue. But if the notices continue to go unanswered, the IRS may eventually move toward enforced collection. This is where many taxpayers confuse a lien and a levy. They're not the same thing. A lien is a legal claim, a levy is an action. A bank levy is the IRS reaching into your financial life and freezing funds held by your bank. Big difference. Now, here's something many people don't know. When the IRS levies a bank account, they don't usually take the money immediately. The bank generally freezes the funds in the account on the day the levy arrives. The funds are then held for a period of time before being sent to the IRS. That holding period may provide an opportunity to resolve the situation before money is transferred. But time matters. Waiting rarely helps. One of the biggest myths I hear is the IRS only goes after wealthy people. Not true. The IRS collection system doesn't care whether you're a contractor or a retiree, a business owner, or a salaried employee. If you owe taxes and ignore the process long enough, collection actions will eventually occur. The good news is that taxpayers often have more options than they realize. If you're experiencing financial hardship, there may be alternatives. If you can make monthly payments, an installment agreement may stop collection activity. If penalties are driving the balance higher, relief may be available. In some situations, other collection alternatives may exist. The key is acting before the levy occurs, not after. One thing I tell taxpayers all the time is this: the IRS is much easier to deal with before they take action than after. I've represented taxpayers who owed hundreds of thousands of dollars and successfully resolved their cases. The amount owed matters, but what matters even more is that you engage with the process. Open the letters, read the notices, understand where you are in the collection timeline, and don't assume you have no options. At Duff Tax Resolution Services, you'll work directly with a CPA or an EA who can review your IRS transcripts, explain your options, and help you develop a strategy for moving forward. No call centers, no salespeople, just practical guidance based on your situation. If you're concerned about a bank levy or other IRS collection action, give us a call. I'm James Duff. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos on IRS notices, tax debt, and resolution strategies.